Yeah, I'm going to need a bigger shot than this. This is Darth Vader's Mustafar Castle. And I have to say, this is a massive set. And it looks pretty epic. I mean, you have this really cool build here on the front, with some great minifigures there. And I mean, even the box art with that sort of sunset sky over Mustafar just looks really, really cool. So I'm super excited to open this one up and review it for you guys. And you can see on the back here all of the features this set includes. It's got quite a large interior, and we're going to go through this and take a look at what it can do. Let's get building. And this here is the completed model of Darth Vader's castle. Now I'm afraid I haven't been able to quite fit it into shot, but at least here you can see most of the build. And also I did construct this on a live stream, so I'll put a card in the top corner for that if you want to check out that live stream. Now this build is just incredible, but first I think we need to get into the minifigures and see who comes in this set. And the first minifigure here is Darth Vader. And I have to say, I love this new design they have with the helmet. Well, it's not new anymore, but I still think of it as new. Where you take it off in the two sections. It's so cool that he's still got the little base of his helmet left down there. And he has a pretty cool face underneath. It looks like his Return of the Jedi face. He's got a few scars on the back there as well. So this is a nice soft cape, but unfortunately he doesn't have any back printing underneath it. But I mean, he's still just a really, really cool minifigure. I love the torso and leg printing on him there as well. And he has his classic red lightsaber. Right, next up we have the two royal guards who are guarding Vader in his back-to-tank. And again, these are really, really cool looking minifigures. And despite the amount of, not really detail, but just how cool they look. They have very, very little printing. The only printing on these minifigures is on their torsos. Everything else is just done through plain colours, which I think is actually quite a cool concept for these guys. Like, these helmets are just plain red with the black head underneath to show through the visor. And then also the capes with this really cool effect, where on the outside they are normal red, and on the inside they are dark red. I think that just looks really cool. And I mean, the Royal Guards are just some great minifigures here, really. We haven't seen them in a while, apart from like Palpatine's throne room. They've got their force pikes to attack any intruder inside Darth Vader's castle. Now we're getting some of the exclusive minifigures in this set. This is Vader for when he goes inside his back-to-tank for a nice little bath. So, I mean, this minifigure just looks really cool. We have obviously the grey arm and the grey legs for the cybernetics he has inside him, because obviously he had a lot of his limbs chopped off by Obi-Wan. Actually, on Mustafar, which is where this set is based. And he also has this really cool sleepy face as well there, which, you know, whilst he's having a nice little rest. And I think this also could be used in the meditation chamber as well, if you put it on the normal Darth Vader. So I think that's quite cool that you can sort of almost swap out that face, a bit like a second face in a way. And he still has the same scarring on the back of his head, and just some nice back printing to finish it off. He also has like a scuba diver neck piece, which you get a spare of as well in this set, which is cool. You know, just to keep him breathing in there, because obviously we know Darth Vader, he can't breathe very well without the help of his suit. And I mean, this is just a really cool exclusive minifigure to this set. Right, now this is the Imperial Transport Pilot, but he actually has a really cool blue colour scheme to him. So I mean, you could easily think of him as a 501st trooper of some kind, supporting Vader in his castle. So I think that's just a really cool concept. And looking at the video game this is based off, I cannot see this figure anywhere in that. From what I've seen of it anyway, I haven't played the whole thing. I've just seen images like that. I think Lego made this figure up just for this set to add another exclusive character, which is good because this is a really, really cool figure. A really cool exclusive figure as well. And it just uses the Imperial holotank pilot helmet with some extra blue markings. And you just have the regular angry clone face under there. This is before Lego started using the random faces for stormtroopers. But I think this is just a really, really cool figure. He goes really well actually with a lot of my 501st troopers. And he has some really cool printing as well. This is really detailed printing on his torso, his legs, and also lines up pretty well at the waist there as well. And I mean, I don't really have much else to say apart from he's a really cool blue trooper character. And finally, we have the most exciting figure in the entire set, the mouse droid. This is actually a new mouse droid design, or at least when this set came out it was new. And I don't think it's quite as good as the old one. It looks very different from the old one. So maybe I just need to let it grow on me a bit, but I don't know. It's not as... I mean, neither of them really, I think, look accurate to the source material, but I guess it's a nice inclusion in the set to, you know, mock Vader's flaws, and so Vader doesn't have to do any chores for himself, basically. Now, before we get on to the main castle itself, this set also comes with like a sub-build, which is Darth Vader's TIE Advanced, and for a sort of like side build thing, this is actually quite a big TIE fighter. Like, I can pick this up in my hand and swoosh it around, and it feels like there's a lot of stuff here to swoosh around. And what I think is just incredible is you can actually fit Darth Vader in this cockpit. It's like the smallest possible TIE fighter they could have made that still fits Darth Vader in the cockpit. So we can just put him in like so. You've got to lift up his cape a bit and back him in, but he does fit. He's in there. I don't think I've done a very good job because I'm trying to also hold a microphone, but it is possible to fit Darth Vader in there very easily, actually. The only problem I will say with this is you can't see him through the windshield. It's kind of a bit off-putting. But then you can also put his lightsaber on the clip back here as well. I haven't been bothered to take the blade out, but, you know, just to show you can. Also put the blade back there as well. And this is actually, for such a small size, this is a really good looking TIE Advanced, apart from the fact you can't see him in the window. You also have stud shooters underneath. I mean, I'm not really going to be using those, but, you know, they are there for extra playability, I guess. Not that I would expect many children to be buying this set. I bought this set personally because I think it looks really good on a shelf. And I think most people who are going to be getting this one are going to have that. But, I mean, you know, have to have the stud shooters for the kids, right? But, yeah, I mean, this is just generally quite a cool TIE fighter. And to have such a small design, and don't forget, this fits inside the castle. So they were working with a lot of restrictions on the size of this thing. They had to make it big enough for Darth Vader to fit in, and small enough to fit inside the main castle. And I think they did a really good job here. This is the home of Darth Vader himself. This is the full castle that they have you construct in the set, and obviously this is the centerpiece of the set. And I've just about been able to fit it in shot for you guys, so hopefully you can see at least enough of it to get a good idea of what this thing looks like. And I mean, the detail on this thing, especially on the front anyway, is just incredible. You have this little lava flow down here at the bottom to remind us that we are on Mustafar, and this sort of dam in the rocks holding back what you can imagine is the rest of the lava from flowing through. And I just really love the technique they use down there with the black lines just cutting through the grey face. It just looks really cool. And also we have these nice castle-like windows here at the top as well. I really like the technique they use for those to sort of bring them to a fine point at the top. And they do feel like something you would see on an actual castle in real life as well. So really just fits with the theme. And it all comes with a nice point at the top there, the spire, with a slit down the middle. I think that just looks really cool and somewhat iconic as well from the actual building. But anyway, that's enough looking at the whole castle. Let's zoom in on some of the details and also take a quick look at the interior. Though, actually, whilst we're zoomed out here, I might as well try and show you the castle from a few different angles. We have some shots of the side here. You can see the side of the castle. Not particularly interesting compared to the front, but, you know, it's nice that they actually have plating around here, and it's not just an open side like you might have on some sets, apart from down here. There is a bit of space down here. And, of course, a full zoomed-out shot of the interior, which I will get to in a minute, obviously, to show you in more detail. And then, of course, just the other side of the castle, really. It's not much different from the side I just showed you, but, you know, just in case you wanted to see it. Anyway, onto the interior. Now here is the base of the castle with that lava fall I mentioned earlier, and also this technique as well with the black ridges that sort of come out. I think it's a very simple technique, but I think it really does just look good and looks like a dam in a way. I'm assuming that's what it is. And you have some of these sort of big, I guess, big ugly rock pieces around the side. But let's move around to the interior, and this is where Darth Vader can park his TIE fighter after a long joyride around the canyons and lava falls of Mustafar, and the TIE fighter fits right in there just fine, no problem. And I think this is quite a cool area, right? You can't really see it particularly well here. I'll try and get a bit more light in there, but there's a lot of stickers in there, and for anyone who watched my live stream, you will know that cost me great pain. But you know, it's really nice that you can fit the TIE fighter in there, and I think for all the pain the stickers cause me, it does actually look quite nice in there. And then also around the sides here as well, with some nice detailed areas. This is meant to be like a bit of a Sith shrine over here, and it uses, I just pop this piece out, uses some of these nice minifigure parts here, and also on these Nexo Knight shields, and I think this on top is supposed to be a Sith holocron, so that's quite nice. You also have some nice stickers over here as well. I like these ones back here, they just look really cool. And also hidden away in the walls on the rocks of Mustafar, there is an ancient Sith lightsaber. Simple little area, you know, you just flick the thing in, flick the thing out. But you know, it hides a nice little lightsaber there. No blade or anything, it's just the hilt. But I think it's a nice little technique. And then round on the other side, you have a kyber crystal. It's a nice way to use the space inside the big ugly rock pieces without just having a bunch of redundant space in them. And also over here as well, I think this is supposed to be a charger for the mouse droid, so you put the little mouse droid in there to charge up. You can't really see it very well. Charge up before he goes off and sweeps the halls of Darth Vader's palace, which, you know, it's nice. And I really like this technique of using this paint holder, paint roller piece here in the wall, sort of look like a little cable. And finally, in this sort of bottom layer, we have this rack, just with some extra studs for Darth Vader's TIE fighter. You know, nothing major, but it's a nice little detail, just to make the thing look a bit more like it's used by Darth Vader and his associates. Anyway, now it's time to head up these stairs here to the next level. Now this is Darth Vader's bathroom, where he goes to take a nice back to bath at the end of a hard day of slaughtering rebels. Now, unfortunately, I've not been able to get great lighting in here, but one of the things I really do love about this room is you can actually just take the Bacta tank right out. And it looks like it'd just be any old room in Darth Vader's castle. And those windows at the back there, I think they just look really spectacular. Again, like I said, something you'd find on a castle here on Earth. But also, then there's also some just other nice details, like this little control panel in the corner here. It's actually a sticker, so it's a unique control panel, presumably to activate and deactivate Darth Vader's Bacta tank. And then also you have a little doorway off to the side here as well, where the royal guards can come through and check on Darth Vader in his Bacta tank. Let's actually put Darth Vader in his Bacta tank right now. I'll put the Bacta tank back in here. It's a very simple build. It basically uses these two large blue pieces, but you can just take back to Darth Vader and put him in there for a nice little bath, you know, sleepy Vader. And then you can also put the royal guards just to guard him, like they did in Rogue One. Even though this isn't a Rogue One set, this is a very Rogue One-like scene, I think. And I think it looks really cool, actually, with the royal guards guarding him like that. You could probably move them further back to be behind him to make it a bit more accurate. But also, again, one of the really good things about this area is there's actually a door. This is at the bottom of the stairs, which I showed you from the last level. And this is just a little door in the side of the building. You can open it up, and there's the royal guard we placed. The royal guards can come in, check on Darth Vader. I don't know, it just makes sense. Just a nice little inclusion. And also, like I said earlier as well, it actually works really well just as any old room in the palace if you take out the Bacta tank. Right, now this is Darth Vader's bedroom. It's where he goes to have a nice nap after his bath in the back tank. And you can see here he has his alarm clock of his annoying boss trying to wake him up for work to go and slaughter more rebels, which he's just done. Give Vader a break. And let's actually see, this is a really... I mean, it's not the best meditation chamber we've seen, but for the size, it's not that terrible. And let's just see. There he is, fast asleep in his meditation chamber, probably having horrific dreams of dark side visions and who knows what. But it's quite nice actually, the meditation chamber has the white inside and the black outside, like it does in the actual films. Because I don't think we really see this in his castle, we see this on his Star Destroyer. But, you know, it's something I think would make sense in his castle, so Lego gets points for that. And also there's this nice little lightsaber holder at the side there as well, where you can put his lightsaber whilst he's asleep, you know. Make sure no one takes it or anything. Lightsaber protection. And I mean, there's not really much else to this room. It's kind of just the meditation pod and the little hologram, I guess, with the lightsaber stand at the side. There are these sort of little openings at the side here. You can sort of, I guess you can class them as windows, but I guess they're more just like ventilation or something, you know. Darth Vader needs to make sure he doesn't get corona, because I think he's probably on the vulnerable list. Anyway, let's go up to the final level. You have no idea how many boxes I've had to stack up underneath my camera just to get it this high up on the build. But this is the very top, very final level on Darth Vader's castle. And it's a stud shooter post. This is a stud shooter. And its primary function is for this guy to stand up here and to shoot the stud shooter. The pinnacle of the Dark Lord's fortress is a stud shooter. I have to say, though, it does actually look quite nice, but you've got these, again, these holes in the side. I guess Darth Vader's got his corona ventilation again. And you can just about see that stud shooter poking out the front there. It's on a ball joint, you can sort of angle it around. You know, have the gunner shoot down from the high ground. But apart from that, there's not really much up here. It is kind of just a stud shooter at the top of the castle. There is this nice sticker, I guess. I can get this off. There you go. It's a nice sticker which I somehow messed up. See, it's not properly centered there. That really just annoys me. Small things like that annoy me. Reasons that Lego needs to print their pieces instead of sticker them. But I mean, it's a nice sticker, I guess. It looks very imperial, sort of thing you'd expect to see on Darth Vader's castle. But yeah, apart from that, there's not really much up here. But I guess it is a nice place to just put the Gunner minifigure. I'm sorry, but I can't just be bothered to set up my elaborate apparatus to get my camera at least a meter away from the build so I can show the whole thing. So this is going to be the outro shot. But this was my first ever review of any kind of Lego set on YouTube. So please do let me know down in the comments below if I did a decent job. I mean, I will be honest, this set probably wasn't the best one to start with, since it's really hard to figure a shot of this set as a whole thing. But overall, this is just a really cool display piece. And the minifigures that come in this set are just brilliant, with 2 exclusive minifigures, and the other 3 are also quite cool as well for what they are. An absolutely outstanding mouse droid, and the TIE fighter on top of the main castle itself. It's just brilliant. I'm really looking forward to putting this one on my shelf, just as a tall tower to tower over all of my other models that I have. I would say it's a great set. Unfortunately, as of the time of this video, this set has just retired, so it's probably going to shoot up in price from now onwards. So it's not going to be the easiest Lego set to get your hands on anymore, but it's still a really good set. Anyway, don't forget to let me know how I did in the comments down below on my first ever Lego review. And if you want to see more Lego reviews like this, then don't forget to subscribe and like the video so I know you're interested. Anyway, I'll see you next time.